Cathy Engelbert, you said Caitlin Clark should be grateful of the WNBA. What?
There's a sentence hanging over the W right now. It doesn't live on a banner or a highlight. It lives in a private conversation Napheesa Collier says happened with the commissioner. Her claim? Players should be on their knees, thanking the league for its media deal, that only losers complain about refs, and that Caitlin Clark should be grateful because her off-court earnings exist thanks to the W's platform. That's not a minor PR scuff. That's gasoline. Cathy Engelbert says it's inaccurate. Collier says it's real. And everyone else is suddenly stuck between a denial and a megaphone. But that wasn't the whole story.
Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
When the blowback hit, the commissioner stepped up to a mic and said two things at once. I didn't say that, and I have to do better. She called the viral quotes inaccurate, said she was disheartened that players feel unheard, and promised to repair trust. She also flagged the calendar. CBA talks are barreling toward an October 31st deadline, and the league wants a transformative deal. That timing matters, because if your locker rooms don't believe you listen, every negotiation sounds like noise. But words don't convince a league. Consequences do. If players were simmering, officiating brought them to a boil. Cheryl Reeve erupted after a bruising semifinal and got suspended and fined $15,000, the biggest individual fine anyone can remember. Then Stephanie White and Becky Hammon got $1,000 fines for publicly backing her and saying what every bench has been whispering. The standard isn't consistent, and players are getting hurt in the chaos. When punishment lands faster than solutions, people assume the point isn't accountability, it's silence. And that brings us to the kids at the center of the storm.
The biggest news in the W is the searing comments from Napheesa Collier in her exit interview earlier this morning.
We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world. If I didn't know exactly what the job entailed, maybe I wouldn't feel this way.
Collier says she asked directly about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Buchers, faces that drive interest, sell tickets, and light up every trend line, and why their first 4 years pay so little relative to the money they attract. Her account. The commissioner said Clark should be grateful, because without the W's platform, the off-court cash wouldn't exist. That's a brutal framing for a fan base that sees stars as the engine. Engelbert denies saying it. The internet doesn't forget either version. Meanwhile, Clark herself played diplomat. Collier made valid points. But it wasn't just one voice in a hallway. The room got crowded. Few things travel faster than a single, clean line from a legend. Elena Del Don posted, I'm still not sure if Cathy knows I retired. Heard from everyone but her. That landed like a door closing softly and locking. Lexi Hull said she agreed with everything Collier said. Sophie Cunningham didn't tiptoe at all, calling Engelbert the most delusional leader our league has ever seen. And in another hit, blasting leadership that doesn't know SHT about basketball. One way or another, the quiet part came out loud. So why does the temperature keep rising instead of cooling? Follow the money.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. We go to battle every day to protect a shield that doesn't value.
Shots after shots. Yo, Cathy said, forget what y'all talking about, be grateful.
Right as the comments exploded, the WNBA announced a new 11-year media rights deal with Versant/USA Network beginning in 2026. That should have been a victory lap. Instead, it became the context for a fight about who gets what in the next CBA. The commissioner is promising movement, higher salaries, revenue share components, better benefits. The players are asking for proof, not promises. Tone matters because tone sets trust, and trust sets the table for a deal that keeps momentum real instead of fragile. If the CBA slips past October 31st, every missed deadline will sound like a siren. But if you want to know what regular fans see, don't look at pressers. Look at the stands. The seats are full. The numbers are big. ESPN says it just had its most-watched WNBA regular season. The league announced a single-season attendance record. Even when Clark missed windows, the rest of the playoff slate surged. Proof the league has more than one star carrying it. So no, this isn't a collapse. It's growth with friction. And if leadership treats frustration like a PR problem instead of a product problem, officiating, transparency, player safety, the audience will feel that mismatch in every whistle and every press release. And looming over all of it is a winter wildcard with real leverage.
This commissioner could be about the fact that Caitlin Clark needs the league more than the league needs Caitlin Clark. Are you mental? You know what could happen, and I know nobody wants to see Caitlin Clark go to the Unrivaled. Everybody's made that clear. But I can tell you this right now, make it very clear. Caitlin Clark could come out and say, I'm going to the Unrivaled. I'm taking that $1 million offer. You know what would happen? Over 1 million people would start watching Unrivaled games overnight.
Cathy truly feels that Caitlin should be grateful for her and grateful for the WNBA for her off-season league money, which, by the way, Caitlin had a lot of endorsement deals before she even came to the WNBA. If that is how she feels about Caitlin and it's not the reverse, not Cathy being grateful for Caitlin, that is so eye-opening.
Unrivaled didn't arrive to make friends. It arrived to make options. 6-figure average salaries, $220K, equity for players, a shorter season, and attention from major brands. That doesn't replace the W, but it changes bargaining math. And the headline this week? Caitlin Clark will not join Unrivaled this winter. The point isn't where she plays. It's that players can choose. Choices create leverage. Leverage writes CBAs. So what has to change right now? Start with the most basic thing a league can control. You can't coach a game you refuse to see. If officiating feels inconsistent, bring players into the room and publish the standard. If safety feels secondary, raise penalties for dangerous contact and own your bad nights with transparent reports. If your tone says, be grateful, rewrite your tone to say we're listening. Not in a statement, in a schedule, a policy, a paycheck. Fans are already in the building. The sport is already hot. The only question is whether leadership sees players as partners or assets. Collier's words might be the ugliest mirror the league has looked into. The commissioner says the reflection isn't accurate and that she'll do better. Here's the truth nobody can deny. The next 30 days will decide which sentence becomes the headline.